listening to Tiger Cats at the Half.
Tiger Cats at the Half, presented by My Insurance Broker. Bubba O'Neil along with Andy Fantuz, and 10-9 for the Ottawa Redblacks. And looking at one of your Car Star keys to victory, Andy, we talked about laying down the hammer in the first half, and I thought the Tiger Cats did a wonderful job of doing that for about 3/4 of that first half.
They sure did, and it's a similar story to what we were talking about last game against Montreal, where methodical, moving the ball down the field, but not able to finish in the red zone. If one of those three field goals were a touchdown, we'd be winning the game. If two were, you'd be in control. So offensively, they just got to finish. Defensively, they were standing on their heads through most of that first half. I mean, the Redblacks were limited to about 50 yards until the last 3 minutes of the second quarter there, and then they had Crum came in and had a nice drive with a couple key runs by himself that sort of fooled the Ticat defense. You take out that one drive and then maybe on offense score one touchdown and then take away a few penalties, is a totally different game. So not quite the hammer that we were hoping for, being down going into the locker room. It must be frustrating for you and I and for the team and for all our fans.
Well, what's frustrating is what I thought was a touchdown reception by Richie Sindani. It appeared that he had control of the football via the helmet of another player. Feet were down. In fact, there were multiple feet down, knees down, but the officials, under review, didn't like it.
Yeah, honestly, every review I saw, I thought it was a touchdown, and I know that the command center has more replays and more angles than we can see, so perhaps we missed something. But that's one of those potential scores that are automatically reviewed anyway, so there wasn't really a need to challenge it. I would like to see why it wasn't called a touchdown, to be honest with you. I thought he, at my first look, I thought it was incomplete, but then after looking again, I thought his arm was under the ball. He survived contact, and then the DB knocked it out once the play was over. So, but regardless, it's over, and no point to dwell on that right now. Really, I think you said it when you and I were watching that last Ottawa drive. It said if there's no face mask roughing the passer penalty, that drive's over. Hamilton has a chance to improve on their 9-3 lead with 2 minutes left in the half. Instead, now they're down by 1.
Tiger Cats at the Half, presented by My Insurance Broker, also features the Alumnus of Distinction for Andy and I. And let's bring in a guy that, I'll tell you, played from 2002 to 2006 in Steeltown, had a longer CFL career with stops in Edmonton also and in Montreal, I do believe. And I'll tell you, he's wearing the number 49 with a lot of pride, and I'll tell you, he was a terror. Tim Cheatwood, it is fantastic to see you. Congratulations, and welcome back to Steeltown.
Oh, man, it's great to be here, and thank you guys for having me.
Tim, when I was in college, I remember watching the Ticats, and you had you and Montfort, just the edges coming off, like just the unstoppable D-line. What was it like just playing here in Hamilton? Your experience from college on into your pros?
Oh, man, it was a wonderful experience playing here in Hamilton. I love this place, and it's even better when I got a chance to play with, the great Joe Montfort, who pretty much after he got here showed me how to really excel at rushing the passer. So this place really brings back a lot of fond memories of just being able to just come out here and show my skills, and these guys really appreciated me the whole time I was here.
We ended up overlapping my first 2 seasons I played against you, but luckily I never had to match up directly with you, because even looking at you now, you still probably put me in my place pretty quickly. But so you brought your 2 daughters and your wife up, 2 of your 4 kids, your daughters and your wife with you. Have you had a chance to get around Hamilton and see some of your old sites?
Yeah, I did, man. I went to a few of my old stomping grounds. A lot of things have changed, but a lot of things are still the same, which is awesome. Especially the fans and people actually, still recognize you and honor the work that you put in up here. And it's just great to be here, man.
Now, did you in that D line in the heyday, the early 2000s, did you guys ever run into some games where you're having trouble getting pressure? And if so, what did you do about it?
Not really, to tell the truth. We had it was between me, Joe, Belly, my guy Johnny Scott. Man, so we had a tremendous time. I mean, we had a great O-line. It was just a matter of who are they going to double and who got the one-on-one. You know how it is, man. We went out there and it's pride, man. We just competed against the people out there, but we also were competing against each other. You know, competition brings out the best in all of us, and that was my guys always competed, so I had no trouble.
Well, let me rephrase it then. Is there any advice you can give to this Ticat team to get a little bit more pressure? Today's not that bad. They had 3 sacks this game so far.
The pressure is there.
But this year it's been, not what we're used to seeing out of the Mark Washington defense.
Just keep it simple. Sometimes it's just better to keep it simple, man. Let these guys go after there and get the quarterback and do their job. That's it, man. Keep it simple and play with like your hair's on fire every single play. These guys are out there giving it their all, I know, but sometimes it's like they're thinking a little bit too much instead of just going out there and making a play.
Over your 5 seasons wearing the black and gold, 41 sacks. 5 seasons. Like, that's big numbers. I look at that 2004 year. On your side, 14 sacks, 13 for Joe on the other side. And then you add, and you talk about some other names, which I thought were great. Belly had 4, Johnny Scott had 4. Like, that is an insane front 4 that people must have been fearing. And in the middle, Jason Lamar had 4 more blitzing where you guys were making some room as well, too. Those must have been wild years. And you guys went to the playoffs that year in 2004.
Yeah, man, it was a great time. Like I said before, we just weren't competing against the guys across the road. That's what people didn't understand. We were actually competing against each other while cheering each other on. We love to see each other do great. We love to see each other get the sack, but we all wanted it just as bad as we wanted to see our brother next to us do it, too. So we just had a great time. And once you get that kind of camaraderie and competition going at the same time, it's hard to stop. That's why I said we didn't have many problems. That's why I was telling, like, it wasn't many guys that we didn't get to or didn't know where we were coming and things like that. So it was just a great time, man. Camaraderie and competition brings you playoff.
Who was the toughest to get at, quarterback-wise?
Henry Burris. For some reason, Hank slid. He was slithery. No, him and Damon Allen, but I got to Damon a few more times, though. I said it has to be Henry Burris. It has to be Henry Burris.
Easiest to get that.
Yeah.
Who was the easiest to get
Easiest to get? Easiest to get. That's a tough question. It wasn't no easy quarterbacks to get at then. It was Joseph. It was Kahari. It wasn't no easy quarterback to get at in this league.
You got Calvillo out there not moving, but he releases it so fast.
So fast. There was two steps and the ball is gone. So it was no easy quarterback to get at.
Dave Dickinson was also
tricky. Tricky Dicky. He get it out real quick too. Yeah. So
Moss.
Danny on your side.
That's Danny get the ball out of there in one step. So
it's a good quarterback.
Yeah, well, good quarterbacks.
41 out of your 44 sacks here in Hamilton. 225 of your 236 tackles. 7 forced fumbles. 4 fumble recoveries. Touchdown. 2 All-Stars. 1 CFL All-Star. Just legendary numbers over a career, like a long career, let alone five seasons with the Cats.
Yeah.
Just amazing. So you're living down in Orlando now. What are you doing with yourself?
Yeah, so I own a gym. I actually train Laurent. I train Ted. I've been training Ted for the last 5 years. So I have a pretty good relationship with him.
You've extended his career.
Yeah, and we did. And that's what the things we work on. That's one of my big things about training. We train a lot of core, man. And, we don't do things like we do when we were, our 2nd and 3rd season. We do things like you're supposed to do when you're in your 10th, 11th season. Like, you know what I mean? So he's a great guy, and he works his tail off every day. Every day we work out very hard. There's nothing easy about it, and that's why he's looking like he's looking this season.
Well, that's awesome. Still working with athletes. You got any advice for the locker room here for the second half?
Like I said, man, just come out with your hair on fire, man. These guys, they know they can do it. They just got to get out there and put it out on the field, man. I'm sure they put in the work at practice. They put in the work in the film room. They just got to make a show out here now, man. Let their hair on fire and go out here and do it.
Tim Cheatwood, number 49. It's been a pleasure. Good memories.
Man, great memories.
I know it was a different building at the time, but boy, I've always said it. No matter what, if you're a longtime Tiger Cat fan, your pride and joy was always the defense on a second down situation when you guys either sacked the quarterback or forced an incompletion. And when you guys came back to that north stands, that standing applause, every time, it was a wonderful thing. Good memories.
It meant the world to me, and it was great, fond memories. Always great to be here.
Great to have you back, and glad you were able to bring your family and just take it all in, brother.
Yes, sir. It's beautiful. Beautiful thing here. You guys built a beautiful stadium. And the fans are always great, and they're still great.
Our best, and thank you for checking in there, bud.
Thank you, guys.
All right, folks, as we get ready for the second half, let's get a comeback going, folks. 10-9, Redblacks leading the Tiger Cats here on a Saturday night Week 5 contest. RJ and Luke getting ready, and they were sent it right back to the broadcast booth. And yes, you are live. Redblacks and Tiger Cats on the Ticats Audio Network.